So they had to entrust that property. They had to trust someone with, management of that property. It could be for years. So, yeah, Muhammad, I'll get to that in a second. I just want to finish this thought. So the idea of a trust is like you as a trustor, you the person who has equitable title, for whatever set of reason you want somebody to fill your role or whatever, or take control of it and manage it for you while under any conditions, whatever the conditions are. So you want them to manage it for you, and in those terms, you'd be the beneficiary as well as the trust creator. Like you're the person who went to the, Lord Farquhar, could you please, manage my property? Here's what I'll compensate you upon return. Annually, this will be what I give you, compound interest, however the terms are negotiated. And then the trustee the person who they entrusted would manage their property, and that's how the system of trust law was created. So let me see if I can go back to Muhammad's question. I got to go back to the chat real quick. I don't go to the chat. There we go. All right. So he said board of members, equitable, CEO, legal. Yeah. Let's say the board of members have ownership, like they're they constitute, a percent, each constitute a percentage of ownership in a company. Collectively, they own the company. Yeah. Each member of the board will have equitable title according to how much of the company that they own. And the CEO will have legal title in the capacity of managing and running the company. It's long. So we're going to get on to the next term, right? So we got grantor, trustor, settlor, all the same thing, has equitable title to create the trust, have to be mentally competent. Right? I'm watching a series now where one of the characters, owned a business, and he was manipulated into acting belligerent because something was revealed to him that triggered him, and they had the people to collect him right there, and then the person who orchestrated it was the person who had legal title, and would have complete control if that person was not found mentally incompetent, and he was put into an institution, and that person took over the company on basically a coup, an economic coup. So the beneficiary is the party to inherit the trust, which would be the property and assets. Okay. The beneficiary is the party the trust was created to benefit. Okay. In the Latin, I'm very bad with this. Estu que trust. So it's spelled ESTUI. That's one word. QUE. That's another word. And then trust. If you look those three words, I'm sorry, I spelled it wrong. CESTUI is the first word. Sestu Q trust. All right. So you can look that term up right now if you want to, and get a clearer understanding of what I'm talking about. All right. So equitable title of the grantor or the trustor is passed to the beneficiary. Okay. So we kind of talked about that process a little bit. Right. So the trustor creates a trust which consists of property and assets. The trustor has equitable title. They create this trust surrounding this property and assets. They appoint trustees to execute the trust, perform the fiduciary duties and responsibilities that the trustee created, and these duties are done on behalf to benefit, or on behalf of the beneficiaries. So the trustor has equitable title. The trustee has legal title. All right. So the equitable title was sole ownership. Legal title is basically control, essentially. They're given a certain level of authority. It's long. So now I'm gonna go, and I did this intentionally for a reason, because when you're when you want to know what a trust is, you have to understand the relationships. Okay, so we took a few minutes to kind of break down the different relationships. Okay, so what is a trust? A trust is a relationship created at the direction of an individual. That individual will be the trustor, in which one or more persons hold the individual's property, subject to certain duties to use and protect it for the benefit of others. Okay, so let's break that down. So a trust is a relationship created at the direction of an individual. We just said it's a trustor, in which one or more persons, this is referring to the trustees. You can have one or more trustees to hold the individual's property or assets. Subject, meaning that you can hold these property and assets on the condition of certain duties to use and protect it for the benefit of others. For example, all right, so we're talking about certain duties, right? Say the trustee is responsible. They're given basically legal title over 10 million. They're given legal title over 10 million worth of acres. We won't even say number amount of monetary wise. Let's say the trustee's given 1,000 acres to have legal title of 1,000 acres, but subject to certain duties. These duties could be things that must be done, or these duties may be restrictions of things you cannot do. So, for example, that you cannot do is, you must never sell it. You can't ever sell this 1,000 acres under no circumstances, right? Or it could be, you must ensure that this property is maintained. You have to check up on it, once every month, and that could be a duty that's subject to the person being able to hold the property. And the use of it is for the benefit of the others, which are the beneficiaries. All right, so they protecting it and they use it solely for the benefit of the beneficiary. So, for example, because now we're doing this in private. We're talking in a private capacity, but there are public trusts too, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. All right. So the property that comprises the trust is a term known as the trust res, corpus, principle, or subject matter. All right. So any way you phrase it, it could be the trust res, which is the Latin. The corpus, just means body, is Latin. Principle, like when people say, I guess it's about, it's about principle, whatever, like, what have you, or subject matter. All four of these terms are talking about the property and assets that the trust is created out of. I was about to go somewhere with this. Hang on one second. Oh yeah, I was going to give an. Okay, I remember. All right, so now we're going to give these three, and again, we dealing with the science of three. Three branches of government. We dealing with that science of three. So we can equate that three, to make it more relatable in other instances or what have you. So all what you call public servants, all government officials are trustees. They're all trustees. They're basically responsible. They have fiduciary duties to the benefit of the beneficiaries, right? So we take the United States of America, for example, and our government official, whether they're a governor or a legislator or a judge or a president, doesn't matter, right? They could be a clerk at the court. They could be police officer, whatever have you. Any of these bureaucrats, they're all trustees, right? So the trust creator, we can look at the trust document that created the United States of America, originating with the officially with the Articles of Confederation, and then continued upon with the the current Constitution. So I asked this from last week. I'm gonna see if anybody remembers. Does anybody remember what is the equivalency within our society in terms of beneficiaries? Like, who are the beneficiaries of the United States of America? The trust. Okay. I think I heard the Moabites first. Islam Moabites, did you want to take a shot at it? I thought I heard some feminine energy. If not,
Small.
we had brother Jeff. He had his hand up, so I don't want to ignore them.
Nah, somebody else want to give it a shot. They can go ahead, because I was here last week. So
Muhammad, he the Sheik, man. We already know he got.
oh, okay, that was Muhammad.
Yeah,
Sheik, my fault.
We're gonna let you work.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
okay. We the people.
Yeah, we the people, which means what's the term I'm looking for? Who are we the people?
Oh, the beneficiaries.
No, define them in plain language, man.
Say it again.
I'm looking for a specific term. How else would you describe them besides the beneficiaries? We the people are the beneficiaries. You're correct.
The citizens.
Exactly. The citizens are the beneficiaries. So to give another example of a trust that was established, you have the trust created by the trust the trust that was created called the Social Security Act, right? And those who are citizens of the United States of America become beneficiaries under that Social Security Act, so they're entitled to Social Security. So that's another example of a public trust right there.